Are you ready to become an escape-reneur? Well, you are in the right place. Welcome to the Bye Bye 9 to 5 podcast, designed by brilliant women, especially for brilliant women who want to create the life of their dreams by escaping the 9 to 5.
Welcome to Bye Bye 9 to 5 podcast, and we have an exciting guest for you here today. Ooh, my tongue is tied. Ms. Laura Morrow, and she will be sharing some really juicy stuff with us today. Welcome to the podcast where we are helping women to reshape their lives and escape the 9 to 5 so that they can grow a business that they love. Remember to like, comment, share, and download. Welcome, Laura.
Thank you for having me, Kimberly.
All right. This is really exciting for me because this is my very first time having someone with a subscription box. And by the way, I have a subscription box too. So yeah, I'm not quite in launch phase yet, but this is super exciting for me having someone with a subscription box because it's totally doable. So Laura, can you give us your story? What has brought you to this point? Can you share that with me and my audience?
Yes, absolutely. So Kimberly, a year ago, my life was very different than it is right now. So at that point, last July, I was a full-time Mary Kay sales director, working from home. I had two little boys who were 6 and 2 years old. And I had been having a lot of trouble. And it had all started after my second son was born. A couple months after he was born, I started getting a pain in my left foot, especially when I woke up in the morning. And I was told it could be a result of the hormones that are in your body from pregnancy, and that once you quit nursing, then it should just go away on its own and you'll be fine. So I was like, okay, I can wait. It kept getting worse, but I just kept thinking, it'll be fine once I quit nursing. But unfortunately, after I quit nursing, not only did the pain in that foot get worse, it started spreading to my right foot. And then one day last July, I woke up and both of my arms were tingling and my fingers were so stiff I could barely move them and I could barely get out of bed. And I remember getting out of bed, just having to grip the furniture and the walls to just walk across the room. And that's when it really hit me, this is not normal and this is not going away on its own. And I started researching. The doctors couldn't figure out what was going on with me. They did find inflammation in my body, but they did all kinds of tests for things like Lyme, rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, even vitamin D deficiency. All these things can cause joint pain and fatigue and brain fog problems that I was having, and they couldn't diagnose me. So my chiropractor is the one that mentioned, there's this thing called the Autoimmune Protocol, and what it does is it is basically a stricter form of paleo. So it eliminates everything from the paleo diet, which is all grains and dairy, and then anything artificial, alcohol, but then it also includes additional foods that are inflammatory for a lot of people's bodies, like nuts, seeds, nightshades, sugar. Well, sugar is also paleo too. So what you're left with basically is meat, vegetables, fruit, and some natural sweeteners like maple syrup and honey. So that was a huge shock to me because I was just regular eat anything. I wasn't paleo. I wasn't a super health nut or anything like that. But I got started on this diet and it was really hard. Don't get me wrong. It was really tough. But after 3.5 weeks, I noticed that when I was walking across the room, it was significant reduction in pain. And after about 2 months, almost no pain at all. And that was going from having to ice my ankles and my wrists every single night because of the pain to being able to lead a pretty normal life. So I was so excited about the transformation that I had seen in my own life that it just made me really passionate to share with other people. Because I found out when I started going through this, I kind of thought I was the only one, like I had some weird thing going on. But what I found out that there are up to 50 million people just in the United States
Oh, wow.
who have an autoimmune disease. Yeah, and a lot of them don't even know it because they just chalk these things up to maybe, you know, I'm getting older, I'm just tired from having little kids, or, you know, they just make all these kind of excuses in their heads and they don't even realize that something really is truly wrong, like deeper down. And the majority of these 50 million people, like maybe 80% or more, are actually women. So yeah, so it just made me so passionate to want to share, first of all, you know, you can figure out maybe what's going on with you. And second of all, there is something that you can do that it's not a cure, but it can help significantly reduce and manage your symptoms, and help you potentially either go into remission or to, you know, to just feel better in your day-to-day life and be able to do the things that you want to do. So with that passion, I just started trying to figure out, you know, like what would be really useful for me. And the thing that was hardest for me was like snacks. Because I have 2 little boys and I'm always like on the go with them, going to activities, rushing off to pick them up from school, you know, or like we'll be someplace at a park or whatever for a long time and there won't be something there for me. And these kind of foods aren't easy to just, you know, run by the gas station and get a little snack. So I was finding that just really difficult. I would just get really hungry during the day, which would cause me headaches and things like that. And then I discovered there are snack options out there available, mostly online, but it was just hard to figure out. So I thought, gosh, if somebody could just send me this stuff and tell me what to eat and just send it to me, I would that would just change my life. And then I thought, well, if I need that, I bet there are other women out there that need that. So let me just do it for them. So that's how the subscription box idea came into play. So that's a story. So now my Mary Kay business is sort of on the back burner, and this is my full-time job now. And I'm just so passionate about, you know, sharing this mission with other women and helping them.
Oh, wow. There was so much information in there. Thank you, Laura.
You're welcome.
Okay. So I want my audience to catch this. So I always throw out these golden nuggets. Now, first of all, I want you to recognize that, and you know, I say this all the time, that the greatest business are born out of someone's pain.
Yeah.
So I want you to notice that Laura's business was born personally out of her own pain. And I love, love, love the fact that Laura did not sit around and wait for someone else to come up with this. Laura said, hold on, wait a minute. Why can't that someone be me?
Right.
I know, so a subscription box was new to you. And like I said, I'm doing a subscription box myself. So it's definitely a lot of work. That I know firsthand. And I know because I think this whole concept with people, business owners just deciding to do subscription boxes are kind of new. And so we're having to kind of figure out some things, right? So, but Laura, you're figuring it out and you're doing this, and that's amazing. I want my audience to really tap into that because the opportunities are limitless and the things that you can do are limitless. All you have to do is put your mind to it and decide. That's what you decided. I'm going to do this, right?
Right. Exactly. And so when I first started, I started the Autoimmune Protocol in September 2017, and I got the idea to start the subscription box around the beginning of December. So about 3 months later. And, you know, it's something that once I got the idea, I just ran with it because I just thought about all the women that were out there who needed this. And I didn't want to have them to wait, you know. I wanted to get it out there. So I just started running with it, and it's amazing. It's only because of AIP that I was able to have the energy to be able to do what I did. I know I couldn't have done without that. So one of the big obstacles for me, though, was that I didn't know anybody personally really or I didn't think I did, who had an autoimmune disease. Well, my mom, but not very many people. And I didn't know anybody who did the Autoimmune Protocol. So I was like, well, how do I get the word out there? And how do I, come up with a subscriber base and all this kind of stuff if I don't know people to market to? It's not like some things that, like with Mary Kay, everybody washes their face or uses makeup or whatever. So I'm used to everybody being a potential customer. So this was like a whole new thing for me. So one thing that I did was I put it out there on Facebook that this is what I'm going through. And it amazed me how many people in my life had an autoimmune disease or autoimmune symptoms that they weren't sure yet what was going on with them, just like me. So that just blew my mind that there were people in my life who needed this message that I wanted to send. And that really touched me in a deeper place and made me want to do this even more. And then I did start doing some Facebook advertising, just putting out there that this thing is coming, and got people to sign up for an email list so that they could find out when the launch was going to happen. And then I had a business coach who suggested for me to start a Facebook group. And when he first said that, I kind of thought he was crazy, because I was like, I don't really know people to add to the group. And so how do I have a group if I don't know people to add to the group? And he said, just do it anyway, and just, really support those women, and, really just get your message out there and it'll grow. So I was like, okay, well, fine, I'll do it. And literally I started the group with 9 people in it. And this was at the end of February. And I just put in there some of the people who had, just personally told me that they were going through these things, and a couple of people that I had met along the way who were in AIP. And at first I was like, with 9 people, how many discussions are you going to have or whatever? But it was funny, like those first couple people just, wrote in, I'm so excited to belong to the group, and started asking a couple questions. And they started kind of asking, like, what do you guys eat for dinner? What are some recipes? Started sharing simple tips to help them get started with AIP. And it kind of started growing through word of mouth a little bit, and then through the Facebook advertising. And then I joined several other AIP groups. And anytime people were talking about, like I could really use another support or some kind of resource, I would just invite them. Like, we've got this group that helps make AIP simple. That's the name of our company, Simply AIP, to help keep it simple. So, if you think that would be helpful, we've got this free group. I'll invite you to join. So people started joining. It started growing. It became very active. And now, just a few months later, we have almost 900 members in our group. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's really exciting. It's a super active group. People are on there every single day posting things. And it's just awesome. So the reason I really wanted to do this group is because I wanted to put myself out there as somebody in the AIP world. And people, especially when you're talking about people's health, they really have to know you and like you and trust you before they're really going to want to make that next step, whether it's in a relationship or a business or whatever. So that's what I've been really trying to do with my group, is to build that, them knowing me, liking me, and then going from there and trusting me. So that's what it really builds up. And the reason why I just went for it, even though like 9 people to start with, is I looked at the numbers, and my coach told me, he was like, when people just randomly find you on your website, they don't really, as much as you might try to put your voice there and pictures and things like that, they're not going to trust you or necessarily like you. They might find out facts, but that's about it. And only about 2% of people who find your website are going to go on there and make a purchase because they just don't like you and trust you enough. And then from your email list, that's a way for them to know you a little bit more. So they're going to get to know you and like you a little bit more. So maybe about 10% of people from your email list is going to end up being customers. But he said with your Facebook group, because that's where you're really building the trust, it's going to be more like 20% or more of the people in your group are going to become customers.
Wow.
Yeah, that's huge. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, it's like all the good stuff at once. I'm going to be, getting more customers. I'm going to be getting my name out there. But more importantly, I'm going to be able to get my message out there. And better than my website and better than just sending emails every once in a while, I'm going to be with these women every single day and being able to influence their lives and, really, breathe belief into them, but also help them with the practical everyday recipes and ingredients and things like that. So, it's just kind of like the best of all worlds. And I've just built the best relationship with some of these women. It's just been amazing.
That is really, really nice. Now, we definitely on this show, we are focused on really helping women. So definitely you found a really good thing there with the Facebook group, because, oh my God, to go from 9 to 900 in less than a year. I have some marketing coaches that can't do that. Oh my gosh. Tell us, what was your biggest strategy? So my audience that's listening, what was your biggest strategy in going from the 9 to the 900?
Yeah, so there's a few different things that I did. First of all, anybody who would listen, I would tell them about the Facebook group and, give them a link to join it. And a lot of people did, especially because it's just free. So, when people, and I joined several other groups, both specific to my niche and other business and women type groups. And whenever anybody would have a question about like autoimmunity or these weird symptoms they're having or whatever, I would say, hey, listen, I can help you with more information and support with that. Join my group. And I would give them a link. So I was kind of out there networking. I was also doing a lot of in-person networking events too, both entrepreneur kind of things and within my niche. So just getting myself out there. But another couple specific things that I did was on my email list, which I try to be very good about sending an email with good content every single week. At the bottom of every list, or of every email, it would say, have you joined our Facebook group yet? All about keeping AIP simple. Here's the link. And every time after I sent an email, I would have several new members to my group. So that was always, so every single week I was inviting them. And then, so every time, I don't know if you know this or not, but every time somebody likes your Facebook page, Facebook gives you a notification, right? So what I would do is I would just go in and private message each one of those people. And I would just say, hi, Kimberly, thank you so much for liking my page. I don't know if you know or not, but we also have a Facebook group all about keeping AIP simple with tips, life hacks, and simple recipes. Click here if you'd like to join. And
love it.
Oh my gosh, the number of people who join from that is huge. And I get messages back of people like, thank you so much for inviting me to join. And, thank you for sharing this with me. This is exactly what I need. I'm so excited to be a part of the group. Yeah.
Very nice.
Those are probably my biggest strategies to really grow that group.
Now that was definitely a nugget. Oh, wow. And these are simple strategies.
Right.
The biggest of them all is just kind of putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
Now, are you opposed to anyone who's listening actually reaching out, asking you any questions? I know you're a subscription box owner, but are you open, because you've got experience growing a Facebook group,
Yeah.
Are you opposed to them reaching out or asking any questions about that?
I would love anybody to reach out if they have questions about Facebook groups or how I've grown my business in any other way, subscription box, or if they're just interested in hearing more about the Autoimmune Protocol and how that might be able to help them with any symptoms that they may be having. Any of those things are great things to ask me. A good way to get in touch with me, you can email me. It's laura@simplyaip.com. Or you can find me on Facebook. You can like my page at Simply AIP, and you can definitely request to join my group at the same name. And it's a closed group, so that means that anybody can join. You don't have to be a subscriber, but you want to. But all the messages are private, or all the posts are private, so your other friends can't see what you're posting in the group. Only the group members can.
Yes, very important. That's nice. And I will, when this podcast releases, I will have a page there for Laura with all of her information on my website at kimwigginscoaching.com/podcast. You'll see Laura's picture there. Click on the picture. She'll have her entire page will open up, and I will have all this information there about Laura. Laura, this is really, really exciting. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's been so fun. I love my group so much. And we get so many things out of it. I mean, I'm always getting to share my message. And I want to be really clear too about the content of the Facebook group. So like maybe once or twice a week, I will put something about the box on there. Maybe I'll put a sneak peek on there of a product that's coming out, or once all the products are out, I'll do an unboxing video of my box so they can see all the products and see how I use them and why I love them and why I wanted them in the box. But that's only once or twice a week. And the other times are content about, like AIP, their symptoms, their emotional things that they're going through, recipes, like my story and other people's transformational stories. So I think that's where some groups kind of go astray, is that it's just a marketing piece. And when it's just, marketing all the time, people are going to tune out. They're not going to engage in the group. They're not going to get a lot out of it. But when they're getting all this great juicy content and they're forming connections with other people in the group, that's going to be what keeps them going back time after time. And I just really build those connections. Like every week, Facebook tells you, that you can send a post to the new people in the group, and it will automatically tag all the new people for you. And then you write the post and it tags the people. And I just always send out a welcome. And every single person that comments back to me, I write a response to them and say something, not just hi, but say something personal in response to their story that they shared. And that just starts the relationship and goes from there. So it's all about really the relationship building. So, you can put things about your box, or I put an announcement like, it's shipping week, or the box is just shipped, or, I'll put those things here and there. But the core of it, the heart of it is really this message that I want to share with them, women, and how I can support them and how they can support each other.
Absolutely. And just so my audience, I always like to point things out. It's clear, definitely building a Facebook group is one avenue that's just great for your business. I've never done it before, so I don't really teach it to my clients that way. And that's one of the reasons I just started a Facebook group a couple weeks ago. But that's one of the reasons I started, because I want to be able to go through the process of learning how to grow that group and build that group so that I can teach my clients to be able to do the same. So it is a great avenue, because you're right. You have people in there who build a relationship with you that's so close that they really know you and they like you and they trust you. And so when you are giving them information that helps them either in business or health or whatever it is, they're so open to it already because they are a part of your circle. And that's very, very important. Yes, I love that, love that, love that. Very nice. Now, from a business aspect, Laura, just doing the subscription box itself, how has that been as a business, the subscription box? How has that been?
I love it. I haven't had this much fun working in years.
Wow.
It's great. It's fun. I mean, because it's something that, unlike my past business, it's something that I have built myself from scratch. From the name, the logo,
Yes,
getting a trademark, all those things. So it's just been so fun. It's like been this big sort of creative puzzle to figure out how to do it all. I'm learning so much. I'm constantly listening to podcasts and reading books and whatever, everything I can learn about, marketing and running a business and positive mindset and all that kind of great stuff.
yes.
And the subscription box business is just really fascinating. There's so many pieces of it. Like, you just kind of tend to think like, oh, you just kind of put things in a box and send it out. But it's so much more than that. Like, I have just loved like researching the products, finding the vendors and creating the relationships with them, creating the relationships on social media, learning all these new skills about an online business. I mean, I just feel like it's constant learning. And it's so cool because I think, unlike some other online businesses where it's just products on a page, people order from you and you send it out, with the subscription box, there's more of that community feel, or at least that's how I've created my box. And so it's just this cool community that I've been able to build the relationship, and it's not just money in exchange for product kind of thing.
Right.
So I have just been having a blast with this. I absolutely love it. I would say, if you do decide to do like a subscription box, definitely look at subscription school and go through trainings there and see if that would be a fit for you. And definitely do that before you take any other steps. That's what I did. It just religiously followed their plans, and it helped me be successful right from the beginning.
Very nice. That's very nice. Yes, subscription school is awesome. Yes. And so, yeah, I mean, we've seen subscriptions forever, but it's just amazing that, and it's always been owned by big businesses.
Right.
So the model has opened up itself for people from every walk of life to solve a problem. And that's exactly what you did. You found a pain point and you solved it through a subscription box. And so I just love that. I so love it. It's very, very good. Mm-hmm. So now I asked you a question prior to our interview about what was your favorite motivational quote. And this was amazing. I love this quote. You said, "You can't hurt yourself to happy. You can't criticize yourself thin. You can't shame yourself worthy. Real change begins with self-love and self-care," by Jessica Ortner. That I love. Why is that your favorite quote?
Well, I love it because for so many reasons. I think that women, we beat ourselves up all the time over all those kind of things. And somebody told me one time that, you can't beat yourself up to success. And that really hit me, because I think we try to, like, if only I were better, if only I were thinner, or whatever. And when I found this quote, it just perfectly summed it up. And it summed up my, how I want my positive mindset to be in my business and in my health and just in my life, just all those things. Like, it matters. It matters how we treat ourselves. And so I think it just is just a good reflection of how I'm trying, because we all, I think, still have, those doubts and those moments, but I'm really trying to focus on living my life and thinking those more positive thoughts.
Absolutely. And that, yes, we as women, I think we are so much harder on ourselves than men are, unfortunately. And we are so amazing. And, we are, don't tell the men I said it, but we are the baddest creatures on the planet. We can do some really amazing things. And so, just tapping in to the fact that you should really take good care of yourself first, that the love starts with you.
Right.
And it emanates out to the people around you, is so important. I'm a huge self-love, self-care warrior. I love it. Yes. I'm very big on that. I'm actually running a challenge this week on my page for my subscription box. It's called the Love Me Some Me Challenge. And it's just 5 days of good self-love and good self-care, simply because, I just think we just don't do it enough. And this month is self-awareness month. And so it's just good to be self-aware that we as women need to take good care of ourselves. And a part of that good care also starts with being able to live your passions and live your dreams. If you're working in a job that you don't love, turn it around. Find another job, or create a plan to move out of that job into something that you would enjoy more. And just to hear you say, I love this, your face just literally lit up when you said that. You can tell that, that is your passion. You have found your passion just by actually solving a problem for yourself and for others that have the same autoimmune condition. So hats off to you. That's amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes. So we are just about done here with the interview. Thank you so much, Laura, for coming. I really appreciate it. You've given my audience a ton of great information. And audience, please do not feel shy about reaching out to Laura. She will get back to you. That's an invitation. And ask her your questions. Laura, I want to ask you one last question here. And that question is, if you could tell my audience one thing, one action item that they could do today to get themselves moving in a direction that will provide the positive results that they're seeking, what would that be?
Well, I'll go with, what I've been kind of talking about is, if you have figured out your niche that you want to work with, I would say start a Facebook group. It doesn't matter if you don't think anybody's going to be it in the beginning, just try to add a few people that you think could be interested. Like I said, I started with 9 and like half of those weren't even really that interested. It's okay. And, just start, putting some content out there to them. And then if you have already got a Facebook group, what I suggest is that you ask them, around whatever your niche is, ask them, what they're struggling with or what their biggest challenge is right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get a lot of responses to that, and it's going to tell you what your group needs and what they want to be hearing from you. So whatever their challenges are or whatever they're struggling with, that's going to be like, so for example, somebody in my group might say, I'm, struggling with making dinner every night because it seems like all the recipes are just really hard and take 2 hours or whatever. So that means my group would want more simple, easy recipes that they can do quickly. So whatever challenges they have, help them find a solution. And that can, so if you're like, I don't understand what content is, or how do I know what to put out there that people want to listen to, you ask them. And you just ask them. You don't ask them, what do you want me to write about? Because they don't know, but they do know what they're challenged with or what they're struggling with right now.
Very nice. Great tip. That is very nice. Thank you so much, Laura, for joining us here today and sharing with my viewers and just sharing from the heart. You did a lot of that and gave a lot of great tips. I so appreciate. And audience, please make sure that you reach out to Laura and check out her website, simplyaip.com. I did. She's got a lot of great snacks on there. and although I don't have an autoimmune disease, I know this. I know that, and correct me if I'm wrong, Laura, I have a lot of inflammation. I know that. My doctor has told me that for whatever, I build up a lot of inflammation in my body. Mm-hmm. Just eating those snacks, I believe, would help with that.
Yes. So this box, definitely anybody with autoimmune, but also anybody who has a lot of inflammation. All these products are anti-inflammatory. All the products are also paleo, so they work for anybody on the paleo diet. They're also free of all of the major allergens like nuts or seeds or gluten or grains or anything like that. So if you have any dietary or allergy restrictions, it's great for that. Or just anybody who wants generally healthier snacks than what you're going to find at the regular store. So this, while it is specifically helping autoimmune, there's a lot of categories. I have lots of subscribers who fit in those other categories as well.
Yes. I went on your website and I saw that. And I said, oh, I need to check this out because these are good snacks. So yeah, definitely. Thank you for clarifying that for us.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. Well, this is our episode of Bye Bye 9 to 5. And thank you for coming, Laura. Thank you, my audience, for being here. And we will catch you on the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.
This episode of the Bye Bye 9 to 5 podcast has ended, but it doesn't stop there. Be sure to subscribe for more strategies and advice to help you move from employee to escapreneur, to have the kind of success you have always dreamed of without sacrificing family or time. And don't forget to rate and review us so we can continue to bring you the best content possible to motivate and encourage you on this journey. See you on the next episode.